tulip. Let's give the girls what they want. Howdy, my darling Taurus. How you doing today, my friend? Happy July 2023. And yeah, I need to make it clear to you, Taurus, all right? Anyone that's new to my channel, I'm all inclusive, darling, obviously. All right, Taurus, so what that means is that when it comes to your general tarot readings, I understand not everyone cares about their social life and more people are more so career focused, right? And then the reverse, right? And so I make sure when I do my tarot readings, I cover both bases and how you would translate the messages for both. All right, Taurus, so if you do enjoy this tarot reading, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe because it does help me out quite a bit. And then, yeah, let's just get right into this tarot reading here, Taurus, all right? And so pulling out your first card here, Taurus, we have the Tower energy. Now, I know like a lot of people for some reason don't like the Tower energy. And I think it's more so because people don't really understand like what happens with the Tower, right? What exactly happens. Now, with the Tower, it's kind of like, in my opinion, like delaying the inevitable, or not delaying the inevitable. It's like the inevitable happening. Doesn't matter how much you try to delay it. There's still coming a point in time where through the acts of God, darling, lightning's going to strike and break your foundation here, right? But the positive thing is for you, Taurus, is that this is, and I have your clarifying cards here off the camera. It's like you're at a point right now, Taurus, where the change that's going to be coming into your life is like either changing like your social life. Maybe it's been a long time. You've been in a dry spell when it comes to your social life. Been a hot biscuit, Taurus, since you brought forth some new friendships, some new relationships in your life. That's changing here. And then in the career aspect here, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like there's gonna be like a change that is destined to be occurring in your life here. And so naturally you want to have the Tower to happen. You want to break down that old building, and so what ends up being replaced by that old building is something even grander than what you could possibly imagine from that old situation, right? And so Tower moments are necessary in your life. It's more about, you have to not think so necessarily about the current event right now, all right, but you have to think about what's going to come from that event, all right? If you take things at face value and you just see that Tower moment, darling, it makes sense as to why you'd be really anxious. But I really am confident about what's to come for you, and I do feel like on some level this is like a Tower moment that you have created here, Taurus. You may not have really known exactly what it's about, but I see the potential for you to either be moving, changing jobs perhaps, but it's a higher paying job here. I do see as well when it comes to your social life, maybe you had to have a Tower moment when it came to people that you're surrounding yourself with, and you're going to be having that quickly replaced with some better folks in your life here, right? And as I say that, we pull the Ace of Cups for you, Taurus, so it really drills in the point even more. And so I like to see this energy for you. This is confirming, so Taurus, that I'm not just saying a positive message to be optimistic, honey. That is the case. Like, your response to the Tower energy is your heart chakra really starting to light up here. It's your heart chakra, your cup flowing over, all right? And so by definition, the Ace of Cups, Taurus, can represent new love or new opportunity in your life. Whatever the case is here, it's something that is making you extremely happy. And so what I want to be just letting y'all know right now, Taurus, is that you need to keep your bags packed, darling, because you're about to be having a lot of forward movement, a lot of change in your near future here. It's really important for you to get yourself into a place, if you're wanting to have love in your life, or you're wanting to have career advancement in your life, Taurus, but then you have this anxiety where it's like you want to work, you have like this giant to-do list of things that you want to work on within yourself before you decide that you're worthy of said things to happen. Darling, you should have been handling this yesterday, darling, because it's happening in the moment for you in real time. It's already been building up, because I do see with that Seven of Pentacles that I pulled in the pre-shuffle for you, Taurus, that it's stuff that you already have been investing into for a long period of time. The Seven of Pentacles is the card of seeds being planted and just tending to those plants at some point in time, hoping that at one point in time your plant is going to bear fruit so you can have a harvest. Your time of harvest is going to be coming after such a long period of time of where you had to just commit to watering, to fertilizing, to doing what you needed to those plants, even though until now, in the coming days, you weren't getting anything from it. You were just watching something grow some days, and other weeks or months, sometimes you didn't see any progression whatsoever. All right. And so it's really positive for you. I'm going to just start showing you the pre-shuffled cards that I had for you, as So it makes more sense is this Page of Wands for you, Taurus. The Page of Wands represents new opportunity, new energy coming in here. Whatever the case, this is going to be a summer for you, Taurus, of just like newness for you. All right, it's something that's going to be exciting you. All right, when it comes to people, Taurus, this is more of a message of where either you've made recent connections, or the connections that are going to be coming into your life, Taurus, you're going to be able to really invest into. And I kind of lean more so towards the latter, in the sense of you haven't met them quite yet, because I have seen you in this place of being more so of a hermit, probably trying to get your life together, trying to just get the, having your chance of success, having your moment. You might have been seeing on social media like all your friends and family having things worthy of celebrating, having beautiful news, and you kind of might have been in this place, Taurus, where it's like, well, dang, when is it going to be my turn for good things to happen? Your turn is coming here, and you need to get prepared for whatever that looks like for you, right? If the next day someone's knocking on your door and it's your soulmate that you've been trying to manifest for a long time, and you haven't done your to-do list, then you won't answer that door, and then the soulmate's just gonna leave. Now, obviously, I'm not saying your soulmate is gonna be, that's an example, that's an analogy, darling, right? So don't take it literal there. But do you understand what I mean here? It's like, if you have a to-do list of things that you've been wanting to do before the success comes, start doing it now, all right? Because once your plants start bearing fruit and it's coming, you need to be ready to be able to harvest said fruit before it goes bad and you end up missing out on it here, right? So why is all this happening here, right? You have the Wheel of Fortune coming in here, all right? And so the Wheel of Fortune, I always say, like, requires some type of action for it to start changing direction and start blessing you, rather than starting to give more trials and tribulations in your life here. And so you may have done something different recently. Let's clarify this. Page of Cups. I mean, you get both the Page and the Ace of Cups, darling. You can't really get better than that. I feel like for you, Taurus, like, the reason why all this is happening is because you are just really hopeful for really grinding it out until you had the change presented to you, right? And so I kind of see this dynamic here for you, Taurus, of where whatever this new energy is, it's going to be coming in from a place of, I guess the best example I could be putting for this, Taurus, right? If this is, let's say hypothetically, this is my tarot reading, right? I don't think I have any Taurus in my chart. This would be a sense of where it's like I'm choosing to grind it out, posting on social media all the time in hopes at some point in time my social media bears fruit, right? Or it brings forth that success. And it's through that commitment of just grinding it out and being open to like what could be my moment of where I catch my break. That's through me exploring different avenues, right? Through the podcast, through doing all these different things, Taurus. I'm giving as much ample opportunity for success to come from all those different facets. And I feel like that's kind of your story here, all right? Is like not being afraid of throwing things against the wall and seeing what sticks, Taurus, right? But you have to be ultimately open to the Tower moment that needs to happen to allow that to fully come into fruition there, all right? Knight of Swords here. Very, again, this is like complementary of the Tower energy, in the sense of the Knight of Swords is the card of representation of like a lot of unexpected events and opportunities that do come towards you, but it's like unexpected things that happen in like quick succession here, Taurus. Only things I can really say about this, again, it's more so just like this sense of being prepared for like when this moment comes, because I do get this impression, Taurus, that some of you guys are not going to be prepared for when this occurs in your life, and then you're just going to be asked so well. And so it's like, really, yeah, it's like there's really not much to unpack with this, Taurus. Like, you get the 10 of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups, you have the Page of Cups here. Like, there's only so many cards in here that can really reinforce what it is that I've been saying for you. And so when I see these type of signs here, Taurus, this shows to me where it's just like, you might have recently become a little bit of a cynic, thinking it's not possible for you to have like a success story. It's almost like the sense of where you convince yourself, where it's just like you have convinced yourself that you are always going to be an observer of other people having success stories, but you're never going to have your own success story. When in actuality, your success story is right around the corner here. Now, in terms of advice, what advice can we be giving you right now, Taurus, to really help this come into fruition here. Queen of Swords coming in here. Now this is in the reverse, Taurus, but I just don't feel the need to hold it up and upside down here. Queen of Swords in the reverse. So this is a sense of we're calling you out for those who have been lacking the discipline recently, in terms of grinding it out, because you haven't been seeing the results that you've been wanting. Trust me, it's coming. But also this is the time for you, Taurus, to put down your guard a little bit more in terms of a social aspect here. All right, because folks are going to be trying to connect to you, but if you make yourself so unreachable, so unapproachable, girl, then they won't be able to reach out to you, right? Four of Swords coming in here. All right, and so you guys have been in this period of time, Taurus, of where you've probably been really craving a break, and probably have been for a while now, in the sense of like, might be why you haven't been as productive as you used to be, because you're just like, you know what, I need a breather. This is more so of a time for you, Taurus, to just say, it's like, hey, you know, this period of solitude, you know, it's fine and dandy, but you know, get prepared to really have things speed up. And then Two of Cups, really once again reinforcing the point from beforehand. People are going to be approaching you, new folks in your life. This doesn't mean just romance, could be work related, could be just friendships here, Taurus, right? Whatever the case is, that's why your spiritual team is suggesting for you to, you know, put down your guard a little bit more, be a little bit more social, put yourself out there. When was the last time you left the house and did some type of social event that wasn't just getting gas, going to work, or, you know, going grocery shopping? Does that make sense here, Taurus? All right, so your time is coming, I promise you. I understand from this point, like from at this point right now, you probably are feeling pretty fatigued, but I don't know, darling, you know, I see that like your breakthrough is about to really be happening here. Again, I just really want to be telling you, just like pack your bags, get yourself ready, you know, put your suitcases out right next to the door here, because when that opportunity comes knocking, you know, you have very limited time to take advantage of it and go leave the house. All right, your oracle card for today, Taurus, is the Lion Spirit. In numerology, this would be the number 1, because you add up the numbers unless it's a master number to 1 digit. And so look up the number 1 in numerology, see what messages that has for you. Be generous of spirit. All right, and so what this looks like for you, Taurus, is like, I'm gonna go into a little bit of a more spiritual advice for those that are so inclined to. If you're trying to have your spiritual team help manifest things for you here, this would be a sense of, I would be suggesting for you to, how can you share in the success, right? And so, for example, if I wanted to have more manifestations to come into fruition, and I was working with certain spiritual beings, I would make the promise of where it's just like, all right, when I have come into some money, when I come into success, I will make sure that part of that success, I spoil my spiritual team as well with different offerings and so on, right? So that's what I would be suggesting for you. But also, this is more so just a time of where some of you guys, Taurus, might just be asking the questions like, why would anything positive happen to me? Why would they want to bring forth anything positive? Well, girl, it's just because they're feeling generous. All right, Taurus, is not for you to question why someone wants to get you the gift. Just accept it, darling. All right, so this is the weekly tarot reading that I have for you, Taurus. Hopefully something in here resonated, and if it did, all right, you can book a private one-on-one personal tarot reading with me on my website down below, SimplyVelca.com. Bye, Taurus.